This is the fourth and final part of the workshop, Arguments and Thesis Statements. Be sure you've already viewed and completed all content for parts 1 through 3 before watching part 4. Now that we've entered and engaged in a conversation surrounding bilingual education, developed a working thesis statement, and evaluated that working thesis statement against 5 criteria, the last step, besides writing the actual argument essay of course, is to understand where readers expect to see your thesis in the essay. The first and most obvious place is near the end of the opening paragraph or introduction section. This should be the most efficient version of your thesis, and is where we'd put the thesis statement we've been working on throughout the workshop. Another place readers need to see your thesis, or, more accurately, sentences that invoke and connect to your thesis statement, is at moments of transition, which usually occur at the ends of paragraphs or sections. These serve as analytical reminders to your reader. Finally, readers need to see your thesis in the conclusion. In fact, they want to see the most complex and evolved version of your thesis here, and not just the same statement from the introduction. Sound like a lot? It is, but that's the game. As readers, we have short attention spans. We're forgetful. We never want to wonder why we're reading something or what the big idea is. So in the introduction, you need to tell readers what you're about to tell them. In the body of the essay, well, you tell them what you want to tell them, and in the conclusion, you tell them what you just told them. Let's quickly see what our working thesis statement about bilingual education would look like positioned throughout a short argument essay. You can also download this sample essay in the workshop module. In this dummy document, all of the gray text is in Latin and is intended to represent the rest of the essay. You can ignore it. Right now, we're just concerned with the positioning of the thesis statements, which are bolded. At first glance, you should notice that our thesis is located at the end of the introduction, following one of the supporting body paragraphs, and on the third page near the beginning of the conclusion paragraph. The version of the thesis statement located at the end of the introduction is the one we've been working on throughout the workshop. It should be a version of your argument that is narrow and detailed enough to entice readers into the rest of the essay, but not so sophisticated as to overwhelm them. If there's any chance that readers might not completely understand how a given supporting point or paragraph relates to the larger argument, remind them with an analytical sentence or two linking your evidence to your thesis statement. These usually appear near the ends of paragraphs or sections. Finally, the version of your thesis statement in the conclusion should be the most evolved and complex. After all, readers have traveled through all the evidence and analysis in your body paragraphs and have arrived at the end hoping for a lasting impression of your argument. If you provide enough detail and depth here, readers are more likely to still be thinking and talking about your ideas long after they've finished reading. Let's briefly review. In this workshop, we discussed academic inquiry and joining conversations as the most thoughtful, responsible method of developing an argument. We entered into a conversation about bilingual education and repeatedly revised a working thesis statement that reflects not only the complexity of the issue, but also our own individual assertion. We evaluated thesis statements against 5 criteria for strength, and we examined the 3 places in academic essays where readers expect to find the argument. For more free assistance with your writing, visit us online, make an appointment, watch another video, download a handout, send us an email, give us a call. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to complete the quiz.